Hello friends, in this video we will learn how to configure PET on ASA. This is our topology. Please understand the IP addressing and topology correctly, then start the configuration. Initial configuration is already configured. First of all, we will check reachability, then we will start the PET configuration. Go to ASA, ping to PC1, ping to R2, ping to R4, ping to PC2. Done. Show running config object, show running config net, show running config access list. Let's start PET on ASA. Object network inside subnet 1.0. Inside lane 101.0, loopback 1, 111, loopback 2, 222, DMZ1 lane 10.0, DMZ2 20.0. Show running config object. Yes, we have configured object inside lane, loopback 1, loopback 2, DMG1, DMG2. Then go to configuration mode. Net traffic will come from inside. It will go to outside. Source dynamic, who will come inside. Then we will net it with interface. We will perform net when traffic will come from inside. It will go to outside. Source dynamic, who will come. This we will translate with interface. Net traffic will come from inside. It will go to outside. Source dynamic, who will come. Loopback 1 we will translate with interface. To loopback 2 we will translate with interface. We will perform net when traffic will come from DMZ1. It will go to outside. Source dynamic, who will come. DMG1 lane we will translate with interface. We will perform net when traffic will come from DMZ2. It will go to outside. Source dynamic, who will come. DMG2 lane we will translate with interface. Show running config object, show running config net. Done. Then what we have to do, higher to lower TCP will work, UDP will work. Then we have to open ACL for ICMP access list out, permit ICMP any object inside lane DMZ1, DMZ1 lane, DMZ2 lane, loopback 1, loopback 2 object. Then apply it access group out in interface outside. Show running config object, show running config net, show running config access list, show running config access group. Done. Create objects, then put command net incoming interface, outgoing interface, source dynamic object and interface name. Done. Then so accelerate no one. Then you have to go to R1, ping to ISP or R3 working, source lane working, loopback 1 working, loopback 2 working. So accelerate. Yes, you can see the translation here. Then go to R2, ping to R3, go to R4, ping to R3, then go to PC1, ping to R3 or we can say ISP, put command here show accelerate. Done. Then you can see here that whenever the requests are coming from DMZ1, DMZ2 inside ASA is translating with its public IP address of outside interface with a unique port number. Clear configure access list, clear configure net, clear configure object. You can also configure pet without object. How we can define? For example, we will perform net, traffic will come from inside to outside source dynamic any with interface. We will perform net when traffic will come from DMZ1 to outside source dynamic any with interface, net DMZ2 to outside source dynamic any with interface. So running config object, no objects, show running config net. Yes, we have configured net. We will perform net when traffic will come from inside, it will go to outside source dynamic any with interface. When traffic will come from DMZ1 to outside, we will translate the source dynamically any with interface. Same for DMZ2. TCP will work, UDP will work. For ICMP open access list out permit ICMP any 0.0. You can summarize all your networks in this at /16. Then access group out in interface outside. Show running config object, no object, show running config net, show running config access list, show running config access group. Clear xlate, then go to R1, working, go to R4, working, go to PC1, working. Here you can check show xlate. Yes, show running config net. We are using here wildcard entry. When we will net when traffic will come from inside and it will go to outside, we will translate the source dynamically. Anyone will come, we will translate with interface. So still it is performing net, or we can say pet. Show running config net. Okay, done. Clear configure access list, clear configure net, clear configure object. Okay, if you will find commands in this way, for example net, or you can use here object inside. Okay, please have patience. Object network inside subnet 1.0, inside lane 101, loopback 1, 111, loopback 2, done. Next is here DMZ1 lane 10, DMZ2 lane 20. Show running config objects. We have configured object inside lane loopback 1, loopback 2, DMZ1, DMZ2. Another way to configure same net, traffic will come from inside to outside source dynamic, who will come inside pet pool interface. This command also has same meaning. So when inside will come, we will pet with interface, inside lane pet pool interface, loopback 1 pet pool interface, loopback 2 pet pool with interface. We will perform net when traffic will come from DMZ1, it will go to outside source dynamic DMZ1 lane pet pool, DMZ1 lane pet pool with interface. We will perform net when traffic will come from DMZ2 to outside source dynamic DMZ2 lane pet pool interface. Show running config objects. Show running config net. Okay, so using these commands you can also configure pet port address, translation create object, define net, incoming interface, outgoing interface, source, dynamic, real object, pet pool, and interface name. TCP will work, UDP will work. For ICMP open access list out, permit ICMP any object inside lane, loopback 1, loopback 2, DMG 1 lane and DMG 2 lane, access group out in interface outside. Show running config object, show running config net, show running config access list, show running config access group. Clear xlate. Done. Again you can verify. R1 working, 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 go to R2, working, go to R4, working, go to PC1, working. Put command here, show xlate. Done. So again I am repeating, show running config object, create object, show running config net, configure pet, show running config access list. TCP will work, UDP will work. For ICMP open ACL, clear configure access list, configure net, object, clear xlate. So xlate. Done. Clear xlate. Thank you.